Hey guys, I'm currently in bed in my Christmas pajamas with my Christmas tree lit up and my lights up, and I decided I should finally start this video. So it's come to my attention that I have not met my Goodreads goal this year. I set my goal for 30 books and I've currently only read 27. Well, actually I've read 28 because I just finished The Inmate. So I've read 28 books. I need to read 2 more, but I thought that we could meet my Goodreads goal together. Let's talk about the first book that I just finished, The Inmate. I actually intended to vlog myself reading this book, but as soon as I picked this book up, I did not put it back down. I finished it in one sitting, which is very rare for me, but this book was so fast paced. The chapters are really short. I feel like they always left on like a little bit of a cliffhanger, so you wanted to go to the next chapter to see what's gonna happen. So this book follows Brooke and her 10-year-old son. Brooke just lost her parents, and so she moves back to her hometown to live in their old house. She's a nurse practitioner, and the only job she can find is in a men's penitentiary. But the catch is, at this men's prison is her ex-boyfriend, who she actually put in the prison with her statement in court. This book kind of goes in between past and present timeline. So you have a few chapters in the present timeline and then it'll flip back to the past. And the past timeline is that night, and the night of everything that happened. So the reason that Brooke's ex-boyfriend is in jail is because he attempted to murder her. And so as she's working in this men's jail, she has to treat him a few times because she is the nurse, and he begins to get in her head and she begins to think, oh, maybe I was wrong, maybe it wasn't him. The whole time that you're going in between the past and the present timeline, you're kind of confused on, wait, is the man in jail really the killer or is it someone else? And so you just kind of figure that out, and there's a lot of twists and turns. But I will say the big twist at the end was not my favorite twist. It didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, and maybe that's just my personal preference. It was a really good book. Like I said, it was so fast paced. I literally sped through this book. I gave it a 3-star. So I would definitely recommend this book, but it's not like my all-time favorite. But if you're looking for something fast paced to get you out of a reading slump, I would definitely recommend this. So that book put me at 28 out of 30 on my Goodreads goal. And so the next book I decided to pick up is One Dark Window. I've been looking at this book on my shelf for probably close to a year now, and it's always intrigued me because the premise is so interesting. It follows this girl named Elspeth, and she lives in this magical world where their magic system is the cards, and they're called Providence cards. These cards have magic, and whoever holds these cards can use the cards' magic to their own will. In this world, there's an infection, and if you get the infection, it turns your veins black, and it's supposed to bring on magic that degenerates you, and people who have this curse are sent to a prison to be killed. So Elspeth catches the curse when she's a child, and I think she's 20 in this book, but she still has the curse, so she's kind of living in secret. When she was infected, this creature entered her mind, and the creature is called Nightmare. You kind of follow her as she has this creature locked in her mind. So I'm 125 pages in, I would say maybe 25% in, and I totally meant to pick up the camera before I started this, but I just read a few pages, try it out, and I got hooked. I'm pretty sure we just met the male main character. His name is Raven, and he's one of the family members of the king of this town. It's called Blunder. The male main character, Raven, is the captain of the Destriers. If I'm saying that wrong, please correct me. The Destriers, their job is to capture and imprison and kill the infected. We have the infected girl and the captain of the Destriers as the main character. So far it's getting really interested, and I'm really excited to continue this. And this is a very chill, very lax vlog because that's just the vibes I'm feeling. I'm just feeling cozy and Christmas, and let's just sit down and let's read together. I probably should be studying for finals, but I'm just really in a reading mood, so we're gonna be reading. A little update, I just got to part 2, The Mist. Let's see what page this is. Page 160. I'm really liking it so far. I really like the world and the characters and the magic system. I think it's so unique and it's so fun to read about. So I'm ending off right here for tonight, and I will update y'all when I get back to reading it. Good night. Good morning. I just woke up, made my coffee, and I'm about to get ready for the day. We're about to head to church because it's Sunday and the weather is so cold and gloomy and rainy, and it's really kind of been like that all week, but that means it's perfect reading weather. So when I get home, after I force myself to study, I'm going to read. I was kind of tired last night and I didn't really talk about One Dark Window. I thought we could get ready together, do my skincare together, and talk about what I read last night. So where I'm at in the story, the main character Elspeth and the male main character Raven just joined forces on a mission. In their world is surrounded by this mist, and this mist is deadly. To lift the curse of the mist, you have to collect all 12 Providence cards, so that lifts the curse of the mist and it lifts the curse of the infection. Where I'm at, Elspeth and Raven have just joined together to find all of these 12 cards. I just stopped on part 2, something that I really am liking so far. We just got the smallest glimpse of it. They need Elspeth to come live with Raven's family to be a part of their mission to find the cards, and so they need an excuse. The excuse they came up with is that Raven needs to say that he's going to court Elspeth so that she can have a reason to stay at their house. They're at this big ball called the Equinox, and they have to convince people that they like each other and want to court each other. Last night when I was reading that part, I was like smiling, like laughing aloud, because they were so angry at each other, but they had to act like they liked each other, and it was really funny. I don't know if that plot point will carry over into part 2, but it was fun in the first part for like the few pages that we got it. Like I said, I'm going to continue to read after I get home from church and after I study, because I really need to lock in and do that. Finals are next week. It's the next morning. I just made my coffee, turned on the fire, and I'm gonna sit down and read a little bit. Before I went to bed last night, I read about 100 pages. I am on page 241. Goodreads said I was 55% in. I was gonna try to read yesterday, but it ended up being a study day. I'm gonna read for a little bit, and I thought what better way to spend my morning than with a hot cup of coffee and a book. Okay, so I just finished One Dark Window and I rated it a 4.5 stars. I was kind of in between a 4 and a 4.5, but I think I settled on a 4.5 just because I really enjoyed the magic system in this world, and I really enjoyed every character. I loved our female main character, Elspeth. I loved her relationship with the nightmare in her head. I know that he's like this scary nightmare, but he was funny. Like, he would jut into her conversations like in her head, and he would have these side comments, and I just thought he was really funny and he would make me laugh out loud. I also loved her relationship with Raven, the FMC, the female main character. The male main character. I really liked their relationship. It was a good slow burn. It wasn't insta love. And I felt like they grew such a deep attachment to each other that when they were on page, I was literally giggling, like smiling to myself. I just love them together, and I love seeing them together, and I thought she did a really great job depicting their relationship while also not making the whole book about the relationship. Like, it wasn't a romance first. It was definitely a fantasy first, and then it had subplots of romance, which I really enjoyed. I feel like there was a lot of discussion about the magic in the world and how the world works and all the things like that, but I actually really enjoyed that. I think because the magic system was so unique, I had never read anything that used cards as part of the magic system, and I thought that was really unique, along with like the mist and the spirit of the wood and all those things. I liked reading about it. I thought it was very interesting, and I thought our world was very well thought out. The reason I did not give this a 5-star is because, I don't know, the ending of this book just, it kind of made me sad. I was like, wait, this is not what I wanted to happen. Like, I wanted them to complete their mission and it worked out fine, which I know is not like gonna happen. But luckily I have the second book, Two Twisted Crowns, on hand, because the first book kind of left off on a cliffhanger, and I'm like, wait, I need to go into the second book, and thank goodness I have it. I thought this book did a great job of keeping me in the story. I did not want to put the book down. I just wanted to keep reading because I was like, wait, I need to know what happened. But I think that is a testament to her writing and her writing style, and how she can captivate me as a reader with the way that she writes her world, the way that she writes her characters. I think for the third and final book of this video, to meet my Goodreads goal, I'm definitely going to have to read Two Twisted Crowns. I have a final in the morning, and then the day after that, I have my last final, and I'll be done. So tomorrow, I probably won't read in the morning. I'll probably wake up and study for my final, take that. I may read after, but I may study for my other final. I don't know yet. I'm really excited to get into this, and I'm really like curious to know what's going to happen, because I don't know how they're going to get out of the situation that they found themselves in at the end of the book. And also, I really like that this is just a duology and it's completed and that's it. I feel like we are drawing series out too much, and I really appreciate her just doing the duology 2 and done, and I'm not dragging it out. I appreciate that. So I'm gonna shower, get in the bed, get cozy, and I'll update y'all when I start this book. Okay, I've started Two Twisted Crowns. I'm on page like 140. I'm this far into it. This book is interesting because in the first book, we just got Elspeth's point of view. We were just in her point of view the whole time, in her head. And in this book, we're getting 3 point of views. We're getting Elspeth's point of view, Raven's point of view, and we're getting Elm's point of view. And Elm is the cousin of Raven, and he's prevalent in the first book, and I really enjoyed him as a side character, but I didn't realize he would be getting his own point of view. But I do like that so far. I like being in his point of view. I think he's a very interesting side character, and she made me care enough about him that I care about being in his point of view. And I think that is like attributed to her writing style and making me care for the side characters in the story. We left off in the first book kind of on a cliffhanger because something happens at the end of the book and you don't know how they're going to get out of it. They're still on the same mission from the first book to find all the cards, but the stakes are higher. It's different now, but I can't say how it's different without spoiling it because I don't want to spoil the first book for y'all. So far, I'm liking it. I haven't had a lot of time to read, but I'm hopefully gonna finish this up soon. I read last night a little bit. So far, I'm liking it. I'm liking the different point of views. When I opened the book and I saw that we had different point of views, I was unsure if I would like it, but I understand that there has to be different point of views because of how we left off on the first book. If you read the first book, you know what I mean. I understand there has to be different point of views, and I actually really do like it. In the second book, so far, we're getting a little love story between Elm and another character. I'm not going to say who because I don't want to be a spoiler, but I'm really enjoying that so far. I'm enjoying his romantic connection with this person, and I'm enjoying seeing this person more because we saw her in the first book. We saw glimpses of her, and I was kind of unsure of how I felt about her, but now being in Elm's head and him talking to her and having connection with her, I'm starting to grow to like her. So I'm excited to see how that storyline continues. I just finished part 1 and I'm on part 2. I think it's 3 parts, like the first book was 3 parts. I'm excited to see how this all wraps up, and I'm interested to see how they're gonna get out of the situation they're in with Elspeth, because it's really worrying me. Like, I don't know why it's worrying me so much, but it is. But I will keep y'all updated. I'm gonna try to work on crocheting Christmas gifts right now because I need to get that done. Christmas is in like 12 days. So I'm gonna work on that, and then I may try to read some more later. But I will update y'all when I do. I just finished Two Twisted Crowns, and so that means I have officially read 30 out of 30 books and met my Goodreads goal for 2025. So I've successfully completed the challenge for this video, and I found a new favorite series. I finished Two Twisted Crowns probably 5 minutes ago. I was immediately like, I need to talk about this because I think this is a new favorite series of mine. One Dark Window will forever hold a special place in my heart because there's just something about the vibes and the gothic vibes of it all that is just so good. And following Elspeth in the first book and her story and meeting all these characters was great. But the second book, Two Twisted Crowns, it was equally as good, if not better. Because of the second book, this is a 5-star series for me. I gave the first book a 4.5 star, and I think I'm gonna give Two Twisted Crowns a 5-star just because of the way things ended. I feel like every single plot line, every single aspect of this magical universe was well thought out, had a logical reasoning behind it. I thought that the way she explained magical elements in this story was so interesting and unique. Again, like I've said 100 times, it's just something I've never seen before. It didn't feel like a story that is marketed as a romantasy, that doesn't have a strong world, strong character, strong background. No, this was the opposite of that. It was so strong in its writing. The world itself, the magic system was so strong. Everything about this was so well thought out. And like I said about the first book, I really enjoyed that she took the time to set up this fantasy world, to set up the magic system, and to set up a meaningful plot. And I enjoyed the way that this series ended. I don't think there was anything I would change about the way that this series ended. And I'm so glad that I finally decided to pick this series up after looking at it on my shelf for like a year. I feel like this was the perfect time of year to read it too, because it's winter, it's getting cold. When I was reading this series, it was super gloomy for like a week straight. The weather outside fit the whole gothic vibe of the series, and it was the perfect time to read it. This is a series that I will definitely recommend. Like I said, the ending was so good. I love the way that everything worked out. I was kind of worried there for a minute. I was so stressed towards the end because I'm like, how are they going to work this out? How are they going to complete their mission? But the way that she wrote the ending, I would not have changed a single thing, and I thought it was so great. I'm glad that you guys could come along with me as I completed my 2025 Goodreads goal. I know this was a very like back and forth chill vlog, but I had a fun time. I found a new 5-star series and will probably think about for a very long time. I'm glad that I could bring you guys along and that we could complete this challenge together, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.